At this time, I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting for September 5th, 2023 to order. Please call the roll.
Counselor Hill.
Here.
Counselor Burge.
Here.
Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Gozick.
Here.
Could I have a motion to approve the minutes for our August 21st, 2023 meeting? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walker.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any old business to come before this committee? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business under communication. Item number 1, Tim Rice, DPW Commissioner, has received a request from Jamal Williams for use of public space at Brightbeck Park for a wedding ceremony and reception on May 18, 2024. Any questions or concerns from the council? Okay. Could I have a motion, please? Counselor Gozick, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Item number 2, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from Ricardo Campo for use of public space to host a Nerf game in Brightbeck Park on Saturday, October 21st, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, any questions or concerns from the council? Okay. Yes.
Is there anybody here
Counselor
for
Burge? What's up?
Is there anybody here for that? I just was wondering what it entails.
Is there someone here to speak to that event, or? I didn't. So, nope. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Could I have a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walker.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Counselor Walker, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
All right, at this time, I'd like to open the Administrative Services Committee meeting. Please call the roll.
Counselor Corradino.
Here.
Counselor McBrearty.
Here.
Counselor Hill.
Here.
Counselor Plunkett.
Here.
Counselor Burge.
Here.
I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the August 21st, 2023 committee meeting. Councilor Plunkett. Councilor Hill.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Is there any old business to attend to? Seeing none. Item number 1, under communication, Mayor William J. Barlow Jr. Seeks favorable consideration from the Common Council in waiving a right of reversion on a quitclaim deed at 190 East First Street between the City of Oswego and the Oswego County Public Employees Federal Credit Union. Councilor Caracoli, it's your ball.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is really, the memo pretty much says it all, but back in 2002, the city deeded this property to the credit union. The credit union was considering the property to build a credit union. It never happened. You've dealt with paper streets in the past 7.5 years. This is another one. So East Mohawk Street actually extended right down to the river. And in 2002, when this was being considered, and I guess the credit union was looking to make this a parking lot more than anything, to complement a building next door. So the city had negotiated, we'll give you this land, but we want, and the paper street, we've already retired it back in the 1920s. It's no longer useful. We've abandoned it. But we want to reserve 15 parking spaces for public parking, and if the deal does fall through, we want the property back. And so the deal did fall through, and the city has retained the property, or I'm sorry, the right of reversion. So now Terry Leroy and his company are purchasing the property for future development, and in the title examination, this right of reversion has popped up, and so it's a cloud on the title, right? And what we're asking is that the city waive its right of reversion. The city does not own the property anymore. Let me be clear on that. It's owned by a private company. The same, I think it's the same company that owns the well now and Aspen, or it may or may not be. I don't recall. It was the same developer, let's put it that way, that owned it all. So it's privately owned, but there is that right of reversion that's kind of hanging out there, reserving to the city 15, the ability to develop 15 parking spaces, and I don't know that there's a use for that, and the city doesn't own it anymore. The city hasn't exercised this right of reversion, so we're really just, it's a title issue that the real estate attorneys are trying to clear up and clean up so that the property can change hands. and be developed privately. It will be, taxable and all the rest of that. So happy to answer any questions, but fundamentally what we're looking for is just this council to recognize the right of reversion and waiving any claim to that right now and going into the future.
All right, very good.
Clear as mud?
Any questions for our city attorney on this one? I think he did a great job of explaining it. Seeing none, I guess, can I have a motion? Counselor McCurdy, Counselor Plunkett.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
And I will prepare a resolution for your packets next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 2, Caroline Anderson, Director of Animal Control, requests a budget amendment to the 2023 Animal Control Personnel Services Overtime Account in the amount of $25,000. Caroline?
Hello. So this has been a difficult year for my department with staffing. We've had 2 employees go out with injuries, so our overtime costs have been high. In addition to, we had another employee on medical leave and staff turnover. So we've depleted our budget, and we're still only into September. So at this point, we are in need of more overtime. We are actually still down technically 1.5 staff members at this point. We're trying to hire, but at this point, the show has to go on. We have to function.
All right, any questions for Caroline on the request? So you foresee this to take you through the end of the year?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we're in the process of trying to hire right now, so once we hire somebody, it'll automatically limit the overtime costs, because it'll give us more manpower every day.
Counselor Walker?
Is that gonna hurt for next year, seeing you're like this? I mean, you already did your budget, of course, so.
It shouldn't. I mean, the one employee that we have that's out now, I don't foresee it as a very long-term injury, and the other one is going to be coming up on her year after surgery and should be going back to normal duties and things like that. So it should actually hopefully be normal.
Better.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, very good. Anybody else? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Hill, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item 3, Caroline Anderson, Director of Animal Control, requests authorization for the city to enter into an agreement with Dr. Montana Diapo for veterinary services.
So we currently have 2 contracts with 2 different veterinarians, Dr. Virginia Hoskins and Dr. Kenneth Hodgson. Dr. Hodgson is 80 years old now, so we are in the process of trying to find a younger vet to do surgeries and things like that. Dr. Montana Dibo is a veterinarian in North Country, and she's very interested in shelter medicine. I guess she actually worked in a shelter prior to her job here. And having a contracted veterinarian actually saves the city a lot of money, because we don't have to constantly take them to the vet for an emergency every time we pick one up. We can get in touch with our veterinarian and have them come in and pay them an hourly fee versus, how much it would cost for veterinary services for each individual animal. So it's just a new contract with a new veterinarian.
All right, anybody have any questions for Caroline at this point? From the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor McBrearty, Counselor Hill.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 4, Timothy Rice, Commissioner of Public Works, Parks and Recreation, requests authorization for the city chamberlain to complete a transfer of funds in the amount of $50,000 from the Power and Pump Contracted Services account to the Power and Pump Materials and Supplies account for water treatment plant supplies.
All right, John Lacy from the Water Treatment Plant. We're just looking to transfer some money in between the finalization of last year's budget and when the contract was signed early in 2023, the price of hypo greatly increased. So we've raised the amount for the 2024 budget, so we won't have a problem going into next year.
Yeah, that would have been our next question.
Yeah.
Any concerns or questions for John here? From the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Hill, Counselor McBrearty.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item number 5, Timothy Rice, Commissioner of Public Works, Parks and Recreation, requests authorization for the City of Chamberlain to complete a budget amendment to the garage materials and supplies account in the amount of $102,761 to reflect funds acquired from the auction of surplus to purchase radio equipment. Commissioner Rice, you're up.
Good evening. This is to correct a deficiency in our communication at the DPW. They have antiquated radios that are all in need of new batteries. The cost of batteries are more than this, and this is gonna put actual, basically CB radios in the trucks, and this is something they'll be looking to do year after year to improve our communications.
Any questions for Commissioner Rice? Yes, Council Burge.
So now all the vehicles and all the supervisors, all the people driving will have radios at this point.
Yeah.
And I'll be,
I mean, right now, they have to pull the vehicle over and use their cell phone, basically, because it would be illegal to be on your cell phone while you're driving.
is it
And
gonna
that's
be
where
easy to
we're
get
at.
to, Tim? I know that,
What's that?
are they gonna be hard to order and get?
No, we don't expect to. And this is the start of a long-term plan to get them in every vehicle we have, and this is just the start that they'll be doing over the next 10 years.
How many vehicles do you anticipate converting with this money?
This,
It's
I think this
102,000.
was,
What's that?
I'll get back to you tomorrow with the exact number. We have a quote, and I can tell you the exact number tomorrow. I'm not gonna,
Okay, no, that's
Misspeak.
fair. That's a fair answer. One of the first
And he
times
can
we've heard that one.
he can share it with the rest of the council. I'll give you the answer tomorrow morning.
Very good. Anybody else have any questions for our esteemed commissioner from the public? Can I have a motion, please? Counselor Plunkett, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor McBroody.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item 6, Philip Cady, Police Chief, is requesting authorization for the City of Chamberlain to accept a donation in the amount of $5,000 from the Walmart Community Grants Team for the purchase and training of a new therapy dog. I believe Mayor Barlow is going to speak to this.
This is, you probably saw the story on this, but we have to just accept a $5,000 grant from Walmart, so we thank Walmart for the funding, and this allowed the city to go out and buy Donnie, the something doodle. I think it's a golden doodle. I don't know, it's a really cute dog, nice dog, and that'll help serve as the therapy dog for the police department. Most people aren't sure exactly what that means. It's a dual purpose. Number one is it'll any victims that come into the police department, for instance, if a child is a victim in any situation or crime, if the cops need to ask them questions or extract some information from the child or adult victim, but mainly it's more effective on children, the dog goes in and knows how to calm people down and get them to open up and just ease the tension while they're being questioned on what's probably a traumatic event for them. And then also, studies have shown that introducing these types of dogs around the police station makes the officers more at ease while they're in the station doing their paperwork or getting ready for the day or getting ready to go home at night, just because officers see what could be considered crazy scenes all the time doesn't make it any less easier to process, so just having this dog around will help ease some of the stress and tension they may be experiencing. The handler of the dog is Officer Brandon Lummis. He also applied for the grant through Walmart, so we thank him for his efforts, and again, thank Walmart for the funding.
All right, any questions for the mayor on this one from the council, from the public? Can I have a motion, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Hill.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor McBroody.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item 7, City Engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests the mayor be authorized to sign amendment number 1 with Barton & Judas, DPC, in the amount of $10,100 to cover the cost associated with the Riverwalk West project. Mr. Hinderleiter, you're up.
So, as you know, we've had the Riverwalk repair project. It's some FEMA damage that occurred in 2019. We've been undertaking that repair. And during the course of work and trying to get it open for fishing season, they started down at the high wall down by the switchback near the Varick Dam. While working, they were cutting the concrete, preparing to remove it, and had a piece of equipment actually collapse into the walkway. And so we discovered a large void there. At that time, the walkway became unstable for equipment, and so I closed the walkway and asked B&L, who are the engineers of record for that project, to get me a quote to do a structural evaluation of the problem. And part of that is a GPR scanning survey. So that's a piece of equipment that does ground penetrating radar to try to identify and size up how many more of these voids we have. There's at least 4 other sizable ones that we need to contend with. What it turns out is the engineers who had done the initial structural evaluation failed to make note of the stone arches that were underwater. And what we have found is those arches actually are open under the walkway. And so through the high water action that's been happening, it's been pulling material out from the walkways, and our attempt to repair it has destabilized the walkway. And so, just so that people know, that's why it's closed, that section, but this is to engage B&L to come up with a satisfactory repair and a structural evaluation to make sure that we can make it stable once and for all.
All right, very good. Any questions for our city engineer from the council? Yes, Councilor Walker.
Now, all the funds are coming from FEMA, correct?
Correct. Yep. So this is a FEMA project, so this will be a change in scope, but will be covered by FEMA.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from the council? From the public? Can I have a motion, please? Councilor McBrearty, Councilor Plunkett.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item 8, Mayor William Barlow proposes a $50 annual reduction, which is $12.50 per quarter, reduction to the sewer rate for the flat rate payers. Mayor Barlow?
I'm sure this will be a controversial one, but if you look at the sewer fund, we're in a really good financial position thanks to the last few years of significant investment into our facilities. The wastewater teams at both facilities are doing a great job. We've secured plenty of grant money in the last 8 years to ease the burden on ratepayers. As you know, we finished the mandated consent decree in 2021, so we can continue to ease the pressure on ratepayers. If you remember, we dropped the rate $200 in 2019, another $100 in 2021. Looks like we're in a good spot to do another $50 now. So I think we have that responsibility to ratepayers to reduce it as soon as we think we're comfortable to do so. Now's that time.
All right, any questions from the council on this good news? From the public? Seeing none? Can I have a motion, please? Councilor Hill? Councilor Burge?
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Is there any old business to attend to? I do have one thing I want to point out. This is not usually done at this particular meeting, but I read in today's newspaper that one of our members is going to be leaving soon. I don't know if anybody gets the newspaper, but we have one of the council members, Councilor Hill of the 3rd Ward, is going to be leaving us very soon. A matter of fact, I believe this is his last meeting. So I didn't want him to leave without saying a few words. I mean, I've worked with him for now 6 years, and I know that the county's getting a heck of a legislator because after 6 years of working with you, I know that you're passionate. You're a bulldog when it comes to taking care of your constituents' needs, and the city is losing a fine person representing the 3rd Ward. So I wanted to wish you the best in your travels and in your future endeavors with the county. We're losing a good one here. So again, thank you for your service to the city of Oswego and to the 3rd Ward. Anybody else want to say something?
A round of applause.
Round of applause. Anything else? Seeing none? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Oh, motion to adjourn? Yeah, I'm sorry. I got carried away. You know, I had that speech in mind. Yes, motion to adjourn. Burge and Plunkett.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor McBurney. Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Thank you. Now we're